Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by Apex Irons from Callaway.
Hello, I'm Matt Adams, and this is your Golf Central update. So it's Rory McIlroy outlasting Collin Morikawa by a single stroke. Morikawa shot a 10 under 62 in that final round. Rickie Fowler near the top of the leaderboard. More on him in a little bit, but it was McIlroy's week, and what a turnaround from where we saw him following the Ryder Cup.
On the Saturday night of the Ryder Cup, I was done with golf. I didn't want to see golf again until 2022. And then I, talked about that Sunday singles match, and then that sort of sparked a little bit of a flame again. I was like, I think I maybe figured something out here. Let me play a few more times before the season's done. So, yeah, Saturday night of the Ryder Cup, I certainly wasn't going to be here. And then Sunday night of the Ryder Cup, I thought, go to Vegas and go to CJ and try to build on, this little bit of a breakthrough that I've had. So, yeah, a little change of schedule there.
You mentioned talking about that mental shift of realizing that being you was enough. What prompted that moment of clarity? When did that realization come to you?
Probably the Sunday singles at the Ryder Cup. I went out against Xander, and all I wanted to do was win the point, right? That's all I could do. Couldn't do anything else. Hadn't done much else the rest of the week. And I went out there and I won my point by doing whatever I could. I wasn't trying to be perfect. I wasn't trying to hit shots that I wasn't comfortable hitting, or I went out there to try to win my match, and I did. And I think part of the sort of emotion at the end of it was to do with that week, but it was also probably to do with the last few months in terms of searching to try to get better, and sort of the realization that I don't need to search for anything. It's all right here.
McIlroy joined some elite company with this victory, becoming just the fourth international player with at least 20 PGA Tour wins since the Second World War. The other three, Vijay Singh, Gary Player, and Greg Norman. McIlroy also becomes the seventh youngest player ever to reach 20 Tour wins. What about Rickie Fowler entering Sunday at the top of the leaderboard at the CJ Cup, but a final round 71 dropped him into a tie for third, 3 strokes back of the lead. But Fowler was happy to be in contention and hopes his good play continues into the fall and beyond.
It's definitely nice. It felt good to, finally hit the golf ball properly, at least most of the time, for 72 holes. A lot of quality shots, a lot of good swings this week. Drove the ball well, which set me up to play golf around this place. That's the first key, is one, staying out of the desert and driving it in the fairway. So we did a really good job. Like I said, I felt like I struggled a bit on the greens this week. Wasn't necessarily a line issue. It was, like I said, more of a me speed issue. So go do some work when we touch down in Japan. Other than that, like I said, happy with the rest of it.
Just outside of Little Rock, Arkansas, you'll find the Alotian Club, established by Warren Stevens, son of former Augusta chairman Jack Stevens. The hilly course in the Ozarks hosts the inaugural Stevens Cup this week. We welcome in Warren Stevens, the chairman and founder of the Stevens Cup. Obviously, this has been a massive undertaking. What drew you to creating this collegiate event?
Well, thank y'all for having me on. I was thinking about ways I could honor my father, who was such an avid fan of golf, and he was a big fan of amateur golf. And I thought we'd hosted the Western Am in 2013 and the Palmer Cup in 2019. And while I'm honored to do both, the Western Am such a huge event. We were thinking about something along the Palmer Cup line, not obviously to replicate the Palmer Cup. And we hit on this idea of a collegiate tournament, both men's and women's teams, individual players from the 3 main service academies, and individual players from our HBCUs, and that just seemed to resonate with all the golf coaches and all the people we talk to that are involved in putting on these tournaments. And the AJGA was very involved in helping us think through that. Still are very involved, and we're delighted to have their support. Not to mention the support of all of our marketing team here at Stevens and the people at the Alotian Club, and it's just it's been great.
Warren, let's talk a little bit more about your dad Jack's impact overall in the game of golf, but particularly when it comes to amateurs.
Yeah, he and I actually, through Dad, got to play a round of golf, or more than one round of golf, several rounds of golf with Charlie Coe, the two-time U.S. amateur champion from Oklahoma. And I never knew the great Bob Jones, but my dad did. And, of course, the Masters has had a long-standing, continuing tradition of honoring the amateur golfers at the Masters every year. And the professional game is in great shape. It doesn't need much help. It's the amateur game that we felt we could have a positive impact on, and particularly a positive impact on the women's teams, the HBCUs, and of course just provide the service academy players, all those players with an outstanding experience that they probably wouldn't otherwise get to play the golf course, get to be around the membership, and play good, great golf courses.
Yeah. Now, on top of being the founder of this collegiate event, you also are the founder of the Alotian Club. Could you talk to us about the challenge your course will represent this week to these great collegiate players? Sure.
The course is in pristine condition. Frankly, the best I've ever seen it. Despite getting an inch of rain last Friday, it's playing pretty firm. It could be a little bit firmer, but so far, I think there's only a handful of players that are even under par we're into round two really now. And I think you can tell from some of the scores that they're having not a difficult time, but it's definitely a challenge for them. And the defense of Alotian is frankly the greens, and the greens are great, but you better put the ball in the right spot, or two-putting, never mind making it, two-putting is going to be a very big challenge.
Warren, thank you to your family. Thank you to you for what you have done and for what you are doing for the game of golf.
Well, thank you so much, and we're so honored to have Golf Channel here and to be on live, and we thank our sponsors for helping us do that. And this is just year one of what we think is going to be a great collegiate event. So we're glad to be on the television on your network and to get this thing rolling finally. It has been a challenge.
Here's what's left at the Stevens Cup for the next 2 days. Stroke play will finish up tomorrow. The individual champions will be crowned on Tuesday, and the top two teams will compete in match play on Wednesday to determine a winner.